Welcome to another week of happening and no one giving a shit. People are full of shit. The river is full of shit. And I'm your host, Harry, and it's my job to help you wade through this shit. This week, we will be covering the consent agenda, a bunch of boring-ass bullshit that the council really doesn't want to cover. We'll talk about some new crosswalks, and finally we'll cover phosphorus in the river, a chemical that when added to water just causes algae to grow like crazy and kill all the fish. First up, as always, are the public hearings. All we had this week was just another option to comment on the zoning of a drive-through ATM on Garfield Avenue. This thing has been on the docket repeatedly for the past 6 weeks, and everyone seems to be tired of it. The council looked a bit relieved that no one showed up to comment on it. And for the next time, this thing is going to be moved to ordinance changes for a first reading. It should have a decent shot of passing by New Year's. And now, what you've all been waiting for, the consent agenda. These are the items that someone has to get around to passing, so they shove them all into here and try not to talk about them. Beloit continues to reapprove alcohol license, and never fear. With these, we will truly make it through the pandemic together. Additionally, the city will be requesting $275,000 from the state's local road improvement program to rebuild East Grand Avenue between State Street and Pleasant Street. They will also be renaming Deer Path Road and Coyote Court. The city will also be paving the bills for a total of 4 different bits of recent contract work. These are $3,000 to finish up payments for a truck ramp and drainage work, $180,000 to replace the roof on the Kruger Golf Club house, a total of around $500,000 to be paid out this year and next year for security improvements to the City Hall, and finally around $250,000 for work on the Cranston Road corridor. This would reduce the road from 4 to 2 lanes and reduce speed and accidents along the road. Several city councilors raised concerns about redoing the streets during the winter with it getting dark so early, but they decided that redoing the road before a major accident was vital. And that's it for this week's consent agenda. Ordinances were pretty simple this week. We got a couple crosswalks, a low-speed zone, and a loading zone. Nothing more than a bunch of paint hitting the streets of Beloit, even though it took 5 separate ordinance votes to approve this. This is the high-performance bureaucracy you could expect from your local government. Finally this week, we're going to talk about water treatment for the Rock River. One of the biggest issues facing the river is fertilizer runoff from local farms. Extra phosphorus entering the water stream can cause algae blooms, which can eat up all the nutrients and oxygen in the river and cause dead zones where no fish or aquatic life can survive. So they're just going to pay landowners to help filter out the phosphorus from runoff before it reaches the riverbanks. 3 major landowners are going to be receiving checks to install special grass and gutters to trap any phosphorus in their stormwater systems. If Beloit doesn't do this, they're going to have to invest millions to clean out phosphorus in the river once it enters city limits, so spending $30,000 a year to keep that from happening is a pretty good deal. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Unfortunately, this is our last show for a while, and we're just a bunch of college students putting this all together. And winter break is a thing that's coming up, so we'll see you in January or February, whenever. Also, we really need help in making this show and some other shows we have planned for spring. So if you think the show sucks, great! Help us make it better. We'll be meeting alternating Wednesdays and Thursdays to work on the script and stuff, so send us an email at beloitcitizenmedia@gmail.com and we'll get in touch. We're planning on talking about climate action, police unions, urban planning. If any of that stuff seems interesting to you, seriously, hit us up. We could really use the help. And with that being said, this is the Council Check-In. I was Harry, I am Harry, and I will always be Harry. Goodbye.